doing like a Q&A. So anything that pops into your head that you want to ask us, just save that for the end. But yeah, so let's start with like convention preparation. What goes into getting ready for a convention, and when should you start thinking about your upcoming convention?
Well, like, okay, so what I do is I tell Cora that the convention is coming up in a couple of days, and then I expect her to pack for me and do everything that she's supposed to do within those 2 days. I don't know how anyone
So
else
pretty much
does
what all
the
of us do.
yeah, just
Can
find
we
someone else to do all the work for us, and then
can
that's
we
how
do
I
a
prepare.
rollback?
That's how I prepare.
I think before we address the question of how to prepare for conventions, we should address whether or not you should go.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Making
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
decision is a
that's yeah.
really
Whether or
important
not you even
first
attend.
step. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
conventions are really expensive, and especially for people who are, because we're addressing people who want to go for business reasons, not necessarily just for fun, right?
Right.
Mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going to a convention, if you're thinking about going to conventions for getting your name out there and growing your business, there's a point at which the value for money like also equation, you gotta consider how much you're putting in and how much you may or may not get out. I think that honestly, if you're not partnered yet, if you're not pulling in those like, what is it on the Twitch achievements, like 75 average
I think it's
viewers,
75.
it's really, really hard. Like there are so many people at every convention. Like if you don't have an ability to like put that value, if you can't really sell yourself, then like it's gonna be very hard to find the value in the conventions. Because they're expensive. It's like $1,000 or more to go to a convention. That's a lot of money that you could be putting into your stream and the quality of your stream.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's absolutely true. That's a very
yeah.
fair point.
So if you haven't already got like a good PC setup, you're like doing it on a schedule. It depends on what you do for work. Like you have to take time off of your other job to like go to a convention. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of things that you have to consider before you even plan to go to conventions. So I would definitely say like that's the first step is making an educated decision about whether or not you're going to get what you want to get out of going to a convention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
it's in like a strictly business sense, it's not much
Yes.
different than if you were to put up a booth, right? Like it's
Sure.
kind of the same thing. Like in a like I said, in a strictly business sense,
Mhm.
is what's your product? You know, like what is your product? If you're looking at your stream as like your product, like this is what I have to bring to the table. Is that a strong enough product to really network? Is it a strong enough product to show people, to be proud of, to get people to be inspired or believe in what you're doing, you know? And even if there's like a twinkle there, it might be worth it, but
Mhm.
just be realistic about what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve, and don't go in thinking that you're going to necessarily get value out of it. My biggest tip is the first time you go to a convention, especially a convention game centric, is like just go there because you want to go there as a fan and enjoy the convention.
Yeah.
The first time, the very first time, the networking stuff, if you can fit it in, great. But just know that the money you're going to spend is going to be money spent in an enjoyable way. You're going to get something
Yeah.
out of it, either entertainment or time with friends or something like that. Don't go strictly for business if you're just starting out, because you might be very disappointed and you might end up spending a lot of money, like
Yeah.
Bluejay said. But yeah,
And the that disappointment in turn influences it stays with you.
It'll
That
affect your
influences your
business. Yeah.
decisions and your engagements in future conventions, and that also that disappointment, I've seen this happen several times, can taint your perspective of Twitch itself. When you're involved in on the on the production side, the content generation side, you that's the kind of thing that can taint your perspective on how other people treat you and how interactive the community can be because of one time that you went and you went with misshaped or misguided intentions that didn't really match up with what was possible.
Mhm.
And you came out of that feeling deflated and defeated and disenchanted when it might have just been a matter of like how you approached it, like you were saying. Mm-hmm.
And down $1,000 or $2,000.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, you know, like if you're
And that's the
this
thing
together.
to consider is like someone for one person $1,000 isn't the same amount like percentage wise of their income as another person.
Mhm.
So like if you can spend $1,000 for a vacation and just go because you want to experience it, that is great.
And it can
Do
be
it.
worth that.
Conventions
Yeah.
are so fun. Like
Yeah.
as a person who
Mhm.
likes nerd shit, like conventions are great unless you're really socially anxious and then like consider that as well.
Yeah.
But like for other people where that's a very big expense, like I don't want to go forward into this show without expressing that like this is something you really need to think about before you spend that much money, you know.
For sure. And also, like, you know, one of the benefits about going with the intention of just having fun is sometimes, like, the best experiences, like, business-wise or stream-wise, can just happen by accident. I think we'll talk a lot about that when we talk about, like, parties and the things that happen after the show floor, where, you know, a lot of these chance encounters can really be, like, the best networking that you've done, and you didn't go into it with a business sense. And I think having that kind of, like, naive, like, perspective going into convention for the first time, like if you just go in for your first time with a business sense, then you may make a lot of mistakes trying to be too businessy, and it could put a lot of people off. Whereas if you go for fun
agree.
and then just kind of see what happens, like, you know, the people that have stuck with me the most in my mind who I've met are the people that are just there like having fun, come up to me, start talking to me, and then like, oh, here's my card at the end of the conversation. But they're not like, hello, I am a streamer with X followers. Nice to meet your acquaintance. Like, so,
unless there's like $1,000 bill on the other side of that, business is forgettable. It's so forgettable.
Yeah.
But social interaction is not. When somebody, when you connect with somebody, that stays with you, and you stay with them as well. And you have a story to tell. Like before the show, I was recounting a story of hanging out with Ellohime at St. Jude Play Live. At one point, like that was a very memorable experience. It had nothing to do with business. These things, these are stories that stick with you. And I think, totally to Loco and Bluejay's point, if you prioritize, because Twitch is inherently social and business at the same time, it's just those go hand in hand. If you prioritize the social quality and make sure that you're trying to have a good time and allow other people to have a good time as well, then you can allow the business to flow secondarily, and then something can come of that later. It's like planting seeds, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then let's get into